Hey y'all, it's Day. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for us today. Very much looking forward to this reading. You guys, check out my website. I'll link it in the comment section below. If you like to book a private reading, you can do so there. You can also contribute to my reading in many different ways. Check out my Etsy wish list or my Amazon wish list. Um, Aside from that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I feel like this is gonna be a very interesting reading, and I'm not entirely sure why, but it's giving me that it might be very different, strange, and that I may need to really open up my perspective to get the message. So that is something. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Thank you, angels, guides, ancestors, God, adores, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Really feeling the energy right now, like really taking my time to feel the energy. I felt this card. I was hoping that it would come out. I'll show you guys in a minute. I was hoping this card came out because that's exactly what it was like, the energy felt like, and it ended up coming up as the top of the deck, undercurrent energy. So I feel like it's going to be significant, but I'm going to talk about the spread first. So within the spread, at the top left of the spread, we have multiverse in reverse. Multiverse, and it came out in reverse. With the multiverse coming out in reverse, it feels very, very personal. Like, it feels so personal. Like, it feels like spiritual team is up in your business. So with multiverse in reverse, it's saying that someone, whoever this reading is for, is not allowing themselves to be 100% who they are. And it feels so personal. Spiritual team is like, show us who you really are. And I feel like it can look like so many different things. There's so many different scenarios that could play out, but it's definitely whatever this thing is that spiritual team is saying is who you really are, is connected to your vitality. It makes you feel alive doing it or having it or being it, whatever this thing is for you. And it just makes you feel like invigorated, like alive. It also is an emphasis on your senses, like how you feel life. It feels definitely more, I don't know what that is. Like, it feels great to your being. It just makes you feel more alive, more optimistic, more ready to do things. And I'm hearing the word activated. So with multiverse coming out in reverse, there is this very tangible feeling, and I feel like I'm looking at a body. So basically, like, we're looking at the human body, or the comparison of what we consider to be matter or physicality and its relation to senses, like sensory. So, how are we connecting? I don't know. Okay, so towards the middle of the spread, we have relationship in reverse. Hmm? And we have gifts in reverse. And this are crystals. So we have gift in reverse and we have relationship in reverse. And I'm hearing the word unused. So someone is not using their gifts. Someone is not allowing themselves to be seen. Okay, so we have under the deck, undercurrent energy is underworld. And it came out in reverse. Underworld. This is wild. This is literally wild. So with the underworld coming out in reverse, I'm hearing there's so much to do. And spiritual team wants you to know that it's very important for you to do the work. Top of the deck, undercurrent energy, we have destruction. And this is the card that I was saying that I thought I wanted to come out. Destruction. Yeah, I'm hearing rebirth with destruction. So I don't know what the vibes are. It seems like a little gloomy, like a little hollow, like there's a werewolf around somewhere. That's how I'm looking at it right now in this reading. But it feels like an opportunity for rebirth. And I'm hearing the words, take it. So take this opportunity for rebirth. I see that it's going to become very clear. It's going to become very evident for whoever this reading is for. And spiritual team is basically saying, like, step into it. It feels very, it feels very much like all the moments that we always wish would happen. Like, we always wish that, an opportunity would just happen, or we just see that right application, find that right application, or that perfect car, or the perfect circumstance, or the perfect interactions. And basically, spiritual team is saying, like, an opportunity is going to open up for you. So this can just be like hearing something, some good news by word of mouth. Like, it's kind of like learning about a program that's going to save you money, or that, that's going to be interesting to you, or something like that. That kind of changes the trajectory of your life a little bit. That's the energy. So we're always like wishing, for the people that have always wished for an opportunity, or if you're that person that's like, I never find $5 on the ground, like I've never just like I never felt lucky or something like that. I see it's not necessarily luck, but it is undeniable, the opportunity, or that something kind of feels like it fell out of the sky for you a little bit. And when I'm saying this, there is this energy of it being, it feels like a clay texture. If I could compare it to something, and the objective is to be authentic, to real, like have some kind of substance or quality to it. So it feels like those things that I listed are accompanied with something else that makes it more, I don't know, substance. Hopefully, I'll get more clarity on that. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies. I almost forgot that I prefaced it. I prefaced this video kind of describing the reading, that it might be a little bit more difficult, because it actually is. Because I'm like, this reading is so choppy. So I forgot. I almost forgot that I'm supposed to exercise patience with this, because I'm like, this is too all over the place. I feel like angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies. Okay, so we have under multiverse, which came out in reverse earlier in the spread, where we talked about there's something very special about whoever this reading is for. And there is this kind of this, it's a very interesting feeling. Like, I never felt that feeling before. So I'm not sure how to describe it, except for, like, I feel real. Like, I feel real. And it's this feeling. And the only thing that I can compare it to is like what I've heard. One of the few common things that people that have experienced near death lives say about their experiences. Sometimes they say, like, I felt more alive than I ever felt, or I felt completely at peace, or I felt love, overwhelming love. And some people say that they felt, dang, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, they felt more alive than ever, like they felt real. I don't know. So it's just like in relation to your gifts, because a big part of this reading so far is like, it was saying earlier that someone is not using their gifts, they're not acknowledging their gifts, or they're just not allowing themselves to be seen in their fullness. So that's why authenticity is on the same frequency as like gifts, or as abilities, because it's like your personality is just as valuable as your gifts. Your self-expression is just as valuable as your gifts. Your authenticity, your personal identity, um, whatever you in your fullness looks like, basically, is equivalent to your gifts. It's like it's a gift to itself, in and of itself type of energy. And it makes you feel alive, it makes you feel real. So it's being compared to like what some people describe when they have near death experiences. which is like they just feel completely at peace or overwhelmed with love, or um, one, I'm hearing one with everything. It's just like you just feel more alive than you probably ever felt before. So spiritual team is comparing that to, I'm hearing talent, like exercising your talent, just using your gifts, period, whether it's your personality, you being authentic, or like exercising your gifts, all that. Wow, that was a little complex. So underneath the multiverse, which came out in reverse, we had upheaval in reverse. And it's very interesting. So upheaval in reverse. And with the upheaval coming out in reverse for me right now in this reading, it's definitely a good sign, because the arrow feels like it's not just that the arrow is pointing up, but I can feel the energy of it like being pulled up and propelling up. No, being pulled up, just being pulled up. So it's like spiritual team is pulling us up, and with that is a feeling of like ease, like it's giving trine energy. If you are familiar with like astrology terms, or you watch transit videos, so the trine is like a triangle and it's moving forward, so it's kind of like whatever the energies are, you know, at that time, they're all actively moving forward together. So it doesn't necessarily mean a good thing actually, but it's usually you looked at as a positive thing just because of the movement and the three aspects or points. And there's this energy of moving forward or cycling forward or through. So that's good. I'm very happy about that. So with upheaval in reverse coming out underneath multiverse, though, there's still this point to this clay energy, um, this tangibility, um, a reference to the body again. And I'm hearing claymation. So with claymation, it's just like I'm really trying to feel the energy. It's a really great feeling, but there is a reference to molding, like knowing that we can be remolded, redefining ourselves in tangible ways, um, understanding our nature, moving, moving with nature, like acknowledging our body, acknowledging our senses, allowing the sensations that we can feel with our body be a continued dialogue, getting used to feeling, and back to like there's this like shaping, reshaping, or remolding energy, letting us know that we can change, we can move, we can create movement, we can create change, we can move forward, we can change our identity, we can change our actions. And I'm hearing the word creation with this multiverse in reverse. So it's definitely giving like some kind of alchemy through movement, expressing yourself also, but it's like the benefits of movement type of energy, and actively continuing to move to maintain some kind of benefit, which I haven't just figured out just yet. but it's definitely giving. I mean, I was hearing like vibing, so it's kind of like spiritual. I feel like it's spiritual team's way of like asking us or reminding us to like go with the flow of life, like being hyper aware of what is in your control and what is out of your control. And I think I find it very significant that I said hyper, because it's like, yeah, spiritual team said like if you want to overdo something, overly um overly prepare to go with the flow of life, like be in rhythm. I'm hearing allow ourselves to be still or be quiet when we need to um, respect time, respect processes, and respect seasons, and learning to pick things up when things need to be picked up and when to slow down. Like just knowing what time you're in, knowing what space you're in, and going with the current is going to benefit us greatly right now. And something about doing that, when we actively slow things down, or we exercise being more aware, more cautious, things time slows down. Things feel a lot longer. Time doesn't just, the weeks and the days don't just go like that. So it's also reminding me of if you are someone, or you know someone that, for example, like they have a routine of they go to the club every Friday and Saturday night, like they're on a routine. And there's something about um, there's a reference to like actively being more conscious would, wait, how am I trying to say this? By not, like, say for example, they say like I'm not gonna do that this weekend, they have to be more actively, they have to set more intention to be aware, because maybe that's something that they've been doing on a routine. It feels natural to them at that point. It's a habit. Perhaps they crave it. But filling that gap up with more tolerance for abstaining from those things, it requires you to be more aware, more conscious of what you're actively doing. And spiritual team is saying having that ability to do that, to sit in that gap, that void, that unknowingness, the things are not going as planned, the this is not happening as fast as I would like it to, like being able to tolerate that void um, requires us to be more in our bodies. So to feel our bodies, to communicate with our bodies, and allow that to be a dialogue. So we literally have to be present. And doing that makes the days last longer, because it's not easy to be aware or conscious all the time. That's why people use sedatives, or what's called substances sometimes, or relationships, sex. Like people have a lot of things that distract us. And some of this stuff has this in there, but it's not always even that deep as far as like what this is about. It doesn't have to be that like a negative scenario. But spiritual team is saying something about someone is not using their gifts, they're not acknowledging them or allowing them to be seen, and that habit disconnects you from yourself, your true self, I'm hearing. And because of that, you would not be able to experience what it really feels like to be alive, or to feel alive, to feel stimulated naturally. And it does feel kind of electric a little bit, but mostly like water, fresh water, and I don't know what. I don't know what. But there's definitely a water element into it. And it just feels so charged and so happy. Wow. I wish I felt like that more often. It feels so optimistic and so happy and so clean and so light and pure. But like it's like drinking the like the most possible. It tastes like what I'm it's so hard. Okay. I can't even say I've never had mineral water that I can remember, but it feels like how I would imagine what mineral water would taste like or what the experience would be like. But I don't even know if that's what it is. But it's just a mix of purity and cleansed, like a pure element that's very hydrating, and the minerals in it as well. So there's like substance there. That's the best that I can describe it. Very interesting. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, God's source, and benevolent energies, and in truth of love. Thank you. Guidance. Okay, underneath relationships, where spiritual team was bringing up the communication that you have with your body, is kind of poor, and underneath that we have obstacle. Obstacle, a big ass boulder. So yeah, the communication with your body, your sensations is poor for whoever this reading is for. And it needs to be communicated. So, sometimes for whoever this is for, it is indeed for somebody who has been using substances. And a part of the reason that they use substances is because it allows their body to relax, or them to detach from their body, so that they don't feel all the anxiety or the ache or the pain, the heartache, whatever it is. And it makes them feel better. And what's keeping them from really healing or moving forward, or allowing them to redefine who they are, their personality or their identity, is that when they do feel this anxiety, this heartache, this whatever this deep emotion is in their bodies, it's very alarming to them, and it feels very foreign. It feels very wrong, like it shouldn't be happening. And their spiritual team wants them to know that, like, don't take that as a, like, you need to do something about it. Just, like, feel it and hear it out type of energy with your body, with your senses. So if you feel it, like, just feel more into it and let it come to a head. Like, entertain it, basically, but in a healthy way, where you're going to allow that energy to build, and then and then it will basically come to a head, pop, and then it'll be released, and then it'll be truly past. But the thing is, sometimes sometimes it could take a long time to actually do that. So you actually have to have time to do that. And sometimes it could be really deep. So, like, sometimes it could be too deep. So I definitely don't recommend anyone going for, like, the biggest emotions that they have. I would start with really small things, like just little small things that you could work on, because it can be really intense. Not necessarily that you'll harm yourself, it could be really intense, and it can be really It's just something that you don't want to rush. You want to take your time with, because there's no, you can't like cheat it anyways. If you really want to get rid of that numbness. Anyways, yes. And then on the side of obstacle, which came out in the imagery of a big ass boulder, on the right of that we have blocked. But it did come out in reverse. So both of these are coming out underneath the relationship card that came out in reverse, which was signifying the health or the functionality of your communication with your or relationship with your body. That definitely needs a lot of work on for whoever this reading is for. And obstacle and block came out in reverse. So yeah, definitely spiritual team is just coming through to acknowledge that they know that this is definitely a thing for whoever this reading is for, and that like, yes, if you do feel blocked or you feel like however you are, like you rationalize your experience of this, yes, you're not crazy, bro. So they're basically just acknowledging they know how challenging this is for you. Top of the deck, undercurrent energy, fertility. I love this card. It's so beautiful to me. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I love it. And that has a really nice, I'm hearing renewal. It has a really nice feeling right now. I just feel like literally renewal, and I'm hearing friendship, but like it's giving, I don't know how to describe this, like being nourished and nourishing at the same time. That's what it feels like. Being nourished and nourishing at the same time. And I'm hearing equilibrium. So, being balanced, there's an element. So, like, and it's also giving like the physical mind and the spiritual mind, or the physical body and the spiritual body on the same page, on the same rhythm. Definitely love that for us. That's the energy of this reading. Like getting everything on one accord, being authentic, using your gifts, utilizing your gifts is like spiritual team is saying that our gifts and like are connected to our soul. Like you can't really separate the two. And that's why earlier in the reading I was trying to describe like your gifts are just as important as like your personal identity or your self-expression, your authenticity, your ability to exercise your gifts. Like they're all on the same frequency is basically the message that's coming through. And they're also saying that when you separate yourself from those things, you're separating yourself from yourself. Like your spirit is split. You're split from your vitality, you're split from your being, you're split from your divinity. Like that's the energy, bruh. And it's giving air and earth. It's just like, and as I said, it's like fresh air. It's like it feels like a breeze, like the best breeze you've ever felt or that you can ever imagine feeling airy, communication, like good communication, like clarity. Yes, that's the energy. Clarity. Yes, so it's definitely giving trees giving us oxygen. Beautiful, amazing, clean oxygen, and us just breathing that in, and how that oxygen feeds us and nourishes us and um, heals us, heavy on the healing. It's like something about owning all parts of you in relations to your gifts, your self-expression, your personal identity, your authentic nature, your authentic personality. It's like when we do that, we are basically like adding time to our life, like even in the most intangible ways, or like I don't know. Invaluable is coming through. It's like invaluable, like you can't put a price on it type vibes. You can't put a price on it. And there's also an emphasis on like quality of time. So it's like, would you rather live for 100 years and you be like moderately happy, or would you rather live for 80 years and be 100% happy, like the happiest you've ever been? It's something about, it's in relation to like how valuable this sense of happiness is. What? What? I'm done. This is too much. Literally, like what? So top of the deck we have erosion, and I usually only do top of the deck energy and bottom of the deck energy once, like after I finish shuffling, but apparently that's a thing now because I've already did it like 3 times. So again, at the top of the deck undercurrent energy we have erosion, and it's definitely giving good vibes here. There is like you actively deciding to destroy or to erode older, outdated versions of yourself. There's something about you actively deciding to do that. There's something about you deciding to do this with erosion. And it's very interesting. It's giving me like vibes of like, you may have heard of like something about when you fast after a certain period, your body will start to, or your cells will start to reset or something like that. It's giving like some kind of transformation, or the bad cells that need to die will die off naturally by you deciding. It's just like you're deciding, I'm not going to entertain this action or this behavior or this circumstance or something like that. It's like you're actively choosing something different. You're actively choosing a higher timeline through your decisions, through your actions on a daily basis. And by kind of withholding or maintaining that void, navigating that void, holding that space, feeling those negative, seemingly negative feelings that would cause someone to feel like they need to numb it through substance use. Being able to hold space for those sensations, something about it, it kills off bad cells, basically, metaphorically and in other ways. That's the way it feels. So bad concepts, bad scenarios, perceptions, obstacles. Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this reading? Is there anything else that we need to know? Is there anything else that we need to be aware of? very interesting. Okay, so under the deck, undercurrent energy is plants in reverse. Huh. Plants. With this is giving me this energy of like natural decay or natural dying. So I'm getting like grass or some kind of plant dying and then just going back into the earth and nothing was harmed. So it's kind of like this purification type of energy, this energy of decay and the ecosystem and sunlight. I was hearing photosynthesis, and it's just like a natural flow of life. And there's another emphasis on just like experiencing cycles, being aware of cycles, using nature as a reference, um, allowing yourself to be natural, finding new ways to follow your flow or find the flow of life, to respect time and processes and how that is green. It's a like ecosystem. It's natural, and then there's a level of energy source. There's a natural energy source going back to this type of energy. It feels like how I described this. And I'm hearing regenerative. Regenerative. Okay, so underneath that card we have fire in reverse. Yeah. So with fire in reverse, like fire upright can represent, passion, movement, hot, quick, sharp, like sometimes in your face. Let's see. Fast. Hot, I said hot. But with it coming out in reverse, it's almost like it has a little bit of earth to it, the fire. So again, there was air and fire earlier, or the example I was getting, or I was trying to describe what it felt like. It was just like really clean, the purest, most hydrating water, purest water that you've ever had or tasted or can imagine, or air quality and like minerals inside of that, like the most pure, raw, organic, amazing tasting minerals, like just a little bit in there. That's the way it like feels. So there's some kind of substance to the fire. It's not just fire. It's not just like abrupt or haughty or just like arrogant. I'm hearing it's not. There's like something about, there's arrogance and then there's confidence and regality. Like there's confidence and there's being truly gifted. So it's going back to whoever this reading is for. That's the energy for you. That spiritual team is referencing to you, your personality, your personal identity, your exercise of authenticity, your exercise of your gifts, you allowing yourself to be seen, your self-expression, and the comparison to the gifts. They're saying that it is like valuable and sustainable. It's beautiful, it's gifted, and sustainable. So it's like it's good for you, and it's like mixing the best of both worlds. Like it's giving me this energy of, for example, say somebody wears the most beautiful, amazing, the flyest outfit, but the outfit is so uncomfortable, like it's almost unbearable. but it looks so good. It's like having the best of both worlds, spiritual team is saying. It's like, imagine looking so good, like the most stylish, the most fly, the most beautiful, the most classy, whatever it, the most luxury, whatever it is for you, the most sexy, and it's comfortable or it's not compromising your health in any way. It's like that. It's kind of like with plastic surgery. Um you go to, look better or look the best that you've ever made, but like you're compromising your health or you're compromising your comfort in some way. It's like something spiritual team is bringing up, like some people have been in the past in situations where they had to choose one over the other, and they also chose something that may not be in best alignment with them. But with this gift, this exercising the gift, spiritual team is saying like you're gonna look good and feel good type of energy. It's gonna be like you're doubly blessed. Some people only look good, but they don't feel good. And some people have been feeling good or exercising, trying to feel good, taking up that void, filling into the void, exploring the void, learning how to love themselves even though maybe their environment doesn't reflect that or didn't reflect that. Spiritual team is going back to that energy of like having to exercise that muscle of belief or building that bridge or holding space for, and that requires the communication with the body. So spiritual team is bringing me back to the body and the communication, choosing to forego using substances, and how that is going to make it seem like your day lasts so much longer because you're actively choosing to become aware. And I think that spiritual team brought up earlier in the reading that there's an emphasis on choice, I think. But yeah, like there's definitely an emphasis on choice. And yeah, we did talk about earlier, choosing timelines, choosing some of us right now are actively choosing through our actions, through in our daily lives, what we're going to entertain and what ideologies we're not going to entertain, what scenarios we're not going to entertain, relationships, of habits, things like that. So yeah, so for whoever this is for, that is trying to exercise, um, not using substances to get to know their body, it's going to be very important that you understand that these like negative feelings that our body feels, like yes, it feels anger or it feels irritation or something, doesn't mean you have to do something about it, but actually kind of like lean into it a little bit, and you may be surprised what you find. So basically just explore it more, spiritual team is saying. um, I was like, okay, so on top of relationship, which came out reverse, representing our communication with our body, we have healing coming out in reverse. That's wild. So with healing coming out in reverse, I do get this feeling that someone has tried to um, heal or appreciate, I'm hearing, their body before. They've tried to heal something or something, but it didn't work out. And I'm not sure what that is. Someone feels like they've tried though, like they've tried to heal, they've tried to change, they've tried to, I don't know what they tried to do, but they're saying that it didn't work out. I don't know why. And underneath that, we had that obstacle card with a big boulder, and also blocked that we talked about earlier. That's crazy. Okay, so we also have grief came out on top of upheaval, which came out in reverse, and halfway on the obstacle. So grief. So someone definitely, has been feeling very heavy in their being. It just like someone feels really dense, like they don't want to get out of bed. Their body just feels really heavy. So this just may also be in relation to like some form of depression, or they may feel like this mentally, like they just can't get the strength or there's an emphasis on like just not being interested in something, just not having any lust for life or want to do desire. Someone has no desire for something, and because they have no desire, it makes it really hard. Like there's no motivation, they're not energized, they don't have that fire energy that came out, which that also makes sense why the fire sign of the fire card came out in reverse. And I was saying there's kind of like this earth element to the fire. I was more so getting in a more positive way, and I feel like that is possible for whoever this reading is for. Like that's the positive attribute of this card. Like you're meant to experience fire energy that is also earthy, like it has substance. Your passions have substance, your desires have substance, your drive have substance. You're burning clean oil, you're running on clean and efficient, the best quality gas possible. And that gas is um I don't, I don't want to go say it, I don't want to misspeak, but I don't know what the gas is representing for us in our life, but it's definitely like the energy of having good intentions or pure intentions for why you're doing the things that you're doing. Like, what is really motivating you? Check your fuel, check your motivation, check what is driving you. Is jealousy and envy driving you? Is paranoia driving you? Is fear driving you? Is conformity driving you? Is social acceptance driving you? Is insecurity driving you? Is love driving you? Is inspiration driving you? Is the um, the sensation of freedom driving you? Is learning driving you? Like, what is driving you? What is your fuel? What is motivating you? What gives you vitality? What helps you get up? That's the energy. So love that for us. Wow. So on the right of this block card, which came out in reverse, we have the responsibility card. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck also. It just always stands out to me. Love it. Um, but its card says responsibility, and it feels very interesting. With responsibility in reverse, it feels like being able to have fun for once, being able to be free for once. I'm hearing the word cadet. It seems like she takes on a lot of responsibility. The way that she's standing up, like very straight. She has the antlers on, like she is coming across as very tidy, or like she set her clothes out the night before, like she iron pressed them or something. I don't know. She just seems like militant a little bit. But with it coming out in reverse, it's just kind of like you seen those service dogs where, well, I seen a video of someone let their service dog have free time, like they took off his leash or something, and it just started like jumping around. And that's something that you like literally never see service dogs do. So I didn't even know that it would be able to tell the difference. Like, I didn't think that that's like what it would be doing even in its free time. I thought they were always just like that, like always like very nonchalant they come across to me. Like they're not just easily distracted by anything. Um, but with the responsibility card coming out in reverse, it does feel like someone being freed of a responsibility, or having to worry about something, or having to worry about something, or plan something out. It's definitely this energy of that person that had never missed a day at school, or like, you know how like older generations would like wear a whole three-piece outfit or a three-piece suit to work every single day of their life. Now, well, at least the places that I work, like they kind of like let people dress more casual even in corporate. Well, where I was working at anyway, a little bit more casual. Is giving that type of energy, like for those of you that have been able to experience that. Well, at least for the people where I worked out in our environment, we were just happy about that. Like, okay, you don't have to dress up every single day. I can come a little casual. It's just like one less thing to have to worry about. It kind of just feels like that. It's like I'm still respected for my work, and I don't have to be overly formal for no reason type of vibe. Which, of course, we're definitely, there's a place and time to be, you know, dressed up and formal and things, but just in this particular reading, for this reason, there's an emphasis on that feeling if you've ever come from that, or if you feel you have felt restricted or militant or something like that. This is also giving the energy of someone, for example, who has been in jail for a while, and they had to do a certain routine and they didn't have that much freedom, and then they get released, and now it's just like, oh, they have a lot of freedom, and they may not always know what to do with that, but it's just an acknowledgement of a lot more space, or something being lifted, a responsibility being lifted, or a constrainment being lifted. Love that for us. So spiritual team is saying, I'm hearing unlocking. And going back to this energy that came out initially in the reading, for some of us, we're going to experience something or have the opportunity being presented to us, a door open for us. And I'm also keep getting this energy of stepping into something, stepping through a door. So a door is going to be open, and spiritual team is saying all we have to do is step into it, step forward, literally. And it's just one step, like the door is right in front of us. That's the energy. So opportunities are becoming available to us shortly. So it's important for us to be prepared and to get ourselves in a mindset of that, and to be in flow with find the current of life, like find something in nature that we can acknowledge its cycles, and kind of like allow ourselves to get on the same rhythm. We talked about earlier, um, our physical body and our mental body and our spiritual body being on the same rhythm, being one, and how that contributes to us feeling the most alive that we've ever felt. And so back to this responsibility, with it coming out in reverse, there's like stepping into this freedom, stepping into, I'm hearing achievement. So it feels like stepping into opportunities that feel like a spiritual promotion, or like we feel like, oh, I'm doing something with my life, like I'm onto something type of vibes is giving. Like I'm onto something. So it's like, yeah, our path is going to be illuminated, and I've already heard this concept, so I think it's very interesting that this is coming through. But I've already seen like two videos that was basically alluding that kind of like our paths are going to be illuminated to us, or there's going to be a realization coming towards us where we can see, what direction we're meant to be headed in life, or if we're on the right track, or we're going in the right direction, or if there's something that we need to tweak, or the next steps to take. So I think that's very interesting that it's coming through, because I'm getting that as well. So underneath the blocked, which came out in reverse, we have Cosmos, and that also came out in reverse. Oh, I held that up so long. Like I just started, I literally just started meditating. I'm like, okay, hold on. I was trying to feel into this feeling that I've been getting lately. I don't know if it's a medical thing or if it's a spiritual thing, and it's very interesting, but it kind of like it's so intense that it makes me feel like it's a medical thing, because it really stops me in the middle of whatever I'm doing. Because like even today I was driving and it happened, and I'm like, I can't drive like this. Like it's very, very distracting. And to just be on the road and can't immediately get off the road, yeah, that's got to be medical. So I need that checked out actually. But then there's all lately I've noticed there's like a release afterwards, or it passes or it stops, and then it feels very like enlightening almost. So I don't know exactly what that feeling is. That's what makes me feel like it's might be something spiritual, but shit, I ain't taking no chances. I'm gonna go take my ass to the doctor. Period. This is not medical. Always seek a professional, regardless. This is not, this is not professional advice. But yeah, it does make me feel like it could definitely be spiritual, just because of the characteristics. Anyways, we have harmony. This is a very significant card. Look at the imagery, you guys. I feel like this deck is a little bit out of my norm as far as the imagery, but it's just like I was so drawn to this deck when I got it, and I just love the imagery. It really grabs me. So we have harmony, and this just feels like divinity. This is another emphasis to feeling most alive. Like you probably can't see this card in its true colors right now, but this part is giving rainbow. There's like blue, green, yellow, red, purple. Like it's giving, I'm hearing harmony also. Rainbow, so it's giving like all the chakras are aligned type energy, divinity, feeling alive, feeling vibrant, feeling real. Again, going back to that ultimate peace, ultimate bliss, near death experience that has been described many times. Being connected truly. And then, of course, the card says harmony. And then the geometric signs pointing to awareness. Like, yeah, it's just like awareness. And I'm hearing humbleness as well. So that's interesting concept. I'm hearing purity as well. So there's kind of like humanity type vibes, having compassion or just being aware, not being of harm to anyone or anything type of vibe. And then it's going back to this cycling of the natural process of decay. Like nothing was harmed in the process. When a plant dies, it just goes into the earth and it is recycled, and it, may grow another plant or something like that. So the natural cycles of life, photosynthesis, clean air, clean mental and physical body, spiritual body. Yeah, I love that. So with Cosmos coming out in reverse underneath the block, it's like there's more to discover, there's more to know about yourself. And I'm hearing the word exceeding. So it's like exceeding beyond your imagination by moving forward. So it's like we'll always go way further than we could have imagined by taking action, specifically when it's in relation to our purpose, something connected to our spiritual team, like what we're meant to do in life, our calling, like basically answering our calling. So everybody has a calling, everybody is being drawn to something, but in one way or another, through their senses, through their communication that they have with their body, but a lot of us just choose not to acknowledge it or to take action on it. Like period, everybody's getting the call, everybody is getting the sensation, everybody is being pulled to do something or to step up to something, but a lot of us are not answering the call. So basically that's that. Spiritual team said that's that on that. um Trusting yourself, trusting your authenticity, like just being authentic, finding ways to exercise authenticity, being yourself, your personal identity, exercising your gifts, um all of that is going to grow, and it's invaluable. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Check out the website below. Bye.